Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are going to pull back the curtain and dive into the hidden world that's right underneath homes in Texas City. We're going to explore the really unique environmental factors that make plumbing in this part of the country a whole different ballgame.
So let's just get right to it. The big question: why in the world are homes here so susceptible to major plumbing problems? I'm here to tell you it's not just a string of bad luck. There are some very specific, really powerful forces at play that can turn a tiny drip into a total disaster.
All right, let's get into the weeds. To really get a handle on the problem, we first have to meet your home's hidden enemies. And look, these aren't your run-of-the-mill plumbing issues we're talking about. These are environmental factors that are pretty much unique to the Texas City area. It really boils down to three main culprits, and they're all kind of ganging up on your plumbing. First up, you've got the coastal humidity and salt air, which are just relentless when it comes to corrosion. Second, there's the area's hard water, which does its damage from the inside out. And third, the ground itself, this tricky, shifty stuff called expansive clay soil. So let's talk about hard water. This is so much more than just getting spots on your glassware. We're talking about water that's just loaded with dissolved minerals. Over time, these minerals build up inside your pipes. Think of it like plaque in an artery. It slowly but surely chokes off the water flow and puts a massive strain on your appliances.
And then there's the ground your house is built on. The clay soil around here basically acts like a giant sponge. It swells up when it gets wet and then shrinks a lot when it dries out. All of that movement, that constant shifting, puts an incredible amount of stress on the rigid water and sewer lines buried under your home, which can lead to cracks, breaks, and really sneaky leaks.
You know, the age of your house just adds another layer to this whole thing. A lot of homes built before the 1980s used galvanized steel pipes, which are super vulnerable to corrosion from both the hard water and the humidity. It's double whammy. On the other hand, modern materials like PEX and copper, they're built to stand up to these exact conditions, and they're going to deliver cleaner water for a much, much longer time.
Okay, so we've met the enemies. Now how do you spot them? The truth is, your home is constantly giving you little clues. You just have to know what you're listening for.
For instance, sound familiar? That weird gurgling sound coming from your toilet, usually right after you take a shower or when the washing machine is draining? It's so easy to just ignore that, but you really shouldn't.
Because that sound, that's basically your plumbing system screaming for help. It can be an early sign of a blockage or even a break in the main sewer line. And trust me, that is a problem you want to catch before it turns into a disgusting backup.
All right, here's another one that hits you right in the wallet. You get your water bill, and it's suddenly way, way higher than normal. But you know you haven't been watering the lawn 24/7. So what's going on?
Well, that water and that money is definitely going somewhere. A sudden jump in your bill is one of the classic signs of a hidden leak, and it could very well be a slab leak, caused by that same shifting foundation we were just talking about.
And of course, there are plenty of other signals to watch for. See rusty or discolored water? That points right to corroding pipes. Suddenly have low water pressure? That could easily be from that mineral buildup. And all those other things, slow drains, water stains, mysterious soggy spots in your yard, they're all messages from your home telling you something's not right.
Okay, let's say you've spotted one of these warning signs. I get it. The idea of calling a plumber can be really stressful, but the actual process, when it's done right, is super straightforward. Let's kind of demystify it a little.
It really just breaks down into 3 simple steps. 1, you make the call and they get a technician on the way. 2, they do a really thorough inspection to find the root cause, not just the symptom, and they give you a clear, upfront estimate. Then, and only after you approve it, step 3 begins. They do the repair and then they test everything to make sure it's working perfectly.
And this right here, this is a huge deal. A real professional shows up ready to go. Their truck is basically a workshop on wheels, stocked with all the parts needed to handle most repairs right then and there. This is what avoids those long delays and gets your life back to normal fast.
Honestly, the most important part of this whole interaction is communication. You should never, ever be in the dark about what something is going to cost. A pro will always give you a clear, upfront price before they even pick up a tool. That means you get to make an informed decision with no pressure and definitely no nasty surprises on the final bill. All right, so now let's talk about how to get ahead of the problem entirely. Because the absolute best way to deal with a plumbing disaster is to stop it from ever happening in the first place. Proactive care is all about protecting your home, which for most of us is our single biggest investment.
And there are some simple but really powerful steps you can take. Getting your drains cleaned regularly prevents those surprise clogs. Flushing your water heater once a year fights back against all that sediment buildup. And if you're in an older home, a proactive inspection can spot trouble long before it starts. And maybe most important of all, every single homeowner should know exactly where their main water shutoff valve is and how to use it.
Just to see how much of a difference this can make, take a look at your water heater. In the hard water conditions we have in Texas City, a typical unit might only last you 8 to 12 years. But with some simple regular maintenance, like flushing out that damaging sediment, you can seriously extend its life and save yourself a huge expense down the road.
So that really leaves us with this one last question to chew on. When you think about all the unique challenges of living on the Texas coast, is your home's plumbing just a ticking clock waiting for the next disaster? Or is it a well-maintained, protected investment? The choice really is yours.